Hello again, this is Spencer Colgan, and welcome back to my wallpaper and painting channel on YouTube. Today I'm going to test out a paint sprayer, okay? It's a Wagner product, which is primarily for residential use, do-it-yourselfers. But if your sprayer breaks down as a professional, you and I both know the paint stores from which we buy our sprayers may not have your sprayer available, etc., or you might not have the part, or it's in the shop and you don't want to go out and spend another $2,000 to $3,000 on a sprayer. So you might just happen to find yourself as a pro getting this particular sprayer. It's not the case here. I decided to check it out because I'm spraying multiple shutters, and in order to give my Titan sprayer a break, because every so many shutters you need to clean it out and it slows down the job. So I said, why don't I do a video featuring both sprayers? I'm not going to incorporate both of them into the same video, but just so you know, I'm using this as an alternative to my Titan sprayer, whose video will be coming out at the same time or a day later as the one I'm producing right now for you. And so I'm looking at the product right now. It's a Flex 3500 Wagner sprayer. It's a little cumbersome because it is electric and requires that you hold the machine as it's attached to the electric cord. It's not battery operated, which is what most of our tools are going to today. Even heavy duty tools like chop saws, they're going to battery operated. And so this is a little behind. The price, of course, reflects the fact that it's behind in technology with respect to having to be tethered by a very weighty extension cord attached to the power cord. But if you can handle that, I'm going to show you some of the pros for using this sprayer, and I'm going to show you the results. I'm going to show you how I actually go about using this machine. Let's take a look at the product. Okay, so there you have the product. It's for paint and stain, and it has different cups, one for paint, one for stain. So it's a variable speed, which simply means that you can put lots of air through it or less air through it, depending on how much product you want to come out of the sprayer at the same time. Okay, I'll show you what these dials are for, and I will show you how we use it. Pretty simple, but ultimately you decide whether or not you like the layout. The layout is how the paint looks after it comes out of the sprayer and it dries. That's your layout. You might not realize this, but depending on how you use these controls, particularly this one and this one, okay, these two controls will have a lot more to do with your layout than the price you pay for this machine. This machine is not going to do for you what a Titan sprayer will do, or a Graco, meaning the ones that we as professionals use. You're not going to get the volume of gallons that we get out of a professional sprayer. However, you might be surprised the results you get from having a sprayer that you can have in your home for under $200 US, like this one. This is your power switch. And this is your air regulator right here. This is your volume regulator. And before you get paint all over it, you'll see that each box has a number in it, going from lowest to highest. Number 1 will give you a little paint, and as you go up 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., more paint comes out. This dial, as the symbols indicate, will give you a fan width. In other words, coming out of the sprayer, you will either have a little fan or a bigger fan. And that's indicated right there as you turn this dial. This dial will tell you how the paint comes out. So if I turn it like this, as you can see, I'm going to get a horizontal fan. If I turn it like this, I'm going to get a vertical fan. Now, the more air you use and the less paint you use, the more detailed your work is supposed to be. The relationship between the air and the amount of paint you're using are key. Too much air and not enough product will give you dust. Too much product and not enough air will give you blobs of spitting paint, droplets. You have to practice on this area separate for each job you do in order to get the right combination of air and product. Okay, so let's see how our air and product are related. I go down to low air and low product, and don't forget I have a vertical pattern going here. Not what you want on your doors or your trim. Okay? That's an orange peel finish if I ever saw one. But let's see what happens when I raise the air pressure without raising the product. Let's go up 2 notches. I'm on 3 when my product is on 1. Let's see the difference, if any. I see less of an orange peel. Look at the middle, and look at that middle. Less of an orange peel effect. Let's increase our air. Let's go to number 5. Okay, we can hear the difference. Maybe I should have done 4, but let's see. I'm starting to like the effect. We definitely have an orange peel here, less here, and more of a smoother finish here. Now, of course, we would be moving our sprayer a lot quicker than I did here. So the effect on each of them would be less dramatic than what you're seeing here. So this would be a lot better, and this would be less worse. Now, let's reduce our width of our fan. And I can go anywhere in between a small fan to a big fan. Let's see what a small fan does. Now, let's go all the way to the end to see what this fan business is all about. Why don't I change the direction so that you can see the true effect by giving the paint a different layout in its direction. You can see that the orifice is horizontal right now, but if I switch it to vertical, you will get a vertical layout rather than a horizontal layout. So let's go with the vertical first. Okay, so you might have noticed that when it's vertical, it may not be what you thought would come out of here. Let me show you what I mean. Keeping the orifice clean. Let's go to this side of the box. Now, this is what the paint layout should look like when it's coming out of the horizontal setting. Do you see what happened? The paint came out to make it wider from top to bottom when the setting is horizontal. So my setting is horizontal. You can see that the width refers to top to bottom. Now let me switch it and show you how it looks with the opposite setting. Go back here. You'll see it coming out, and you'll get the gist of it. Okay, so unfortunately, I wasn't joking. But that finished off that tool in a jiffy. I owned it for no more than 8 hours. And I would say that if you had a more gentle hand, perhaps it won't break. But I would not recommend that tool for even a do-it-yourselfer. Even though the layout isn't, it's pretty good. It's not bad. But I would not recommend the tool because even $200 to use the tool once or twice, you're better off, in my opinion, spending more money getting a better tool. Okay? Now keep in mind, for the pros watching, I already have professional sprayers. This is my Titan Cap Spray 115. Many of the painters who watch my channel, they have this tool. And they have a better tool than this one as well. But this is a good professional HVLP sprayer. I also have the Graco 395. Okay? I'm just simply posing the question, can you get a professional layout from one of these do-it-yourself paint sprayer systems? Let's see. And so I introduce you to the Magnum. This is a product by Graco. The Magnum Project Painter Plus. This is the do-it-yourselfers. You're not going to get production painting from this product. But I'll tell you what. Let's see. I think you'll be able to paint your house with this. Let's take a look. Already, look at that finish. Oh my goodness, what a difference. Just from 2 passes. Look at that spray difference. Let me turn it around, see if we can get a better look on it. Now, the price differential between this sprayer and the last one I featured earlier in the video is about, I think about $30. This is $30 more. If you're a do-it-yourselfer, right off the bat, from what we just saw, this is the one I'm going with, right here. So can I get a fine finish on this very flat surface? I mean, hey, we're looking for a fine finish, right? I think we're going to like the results. Now, I will tell you, you don't have to be an expert sprayer to get a good finish. If you mess up twice, you know what you have to do. You've used sprayers before. You have. Have you ever sprayed roach spray anywhere? Window cleaner? Any compressed can. You know that if you leave the can in one place while you're depressing the button, you're going to get too much product. So that knowledge will prepare you for what you need to know when you're spraying. If you don't move the machine, you're going to wind up with overspray. And I don't mean the effects of the spray hitting something else. When I say overspray, I mean overproduction. And so you learn really quickly what you have to do. Okay? A lot of people just lack the confidence. They're worried. This is my door, this is my mother's, I don't want to mess this up, so you hire a professional. I understand it. But if you test this out on anything, an old piece of furniture, something you find in the junk and a neighbor's, pull the thing out of the junk, practice on a piece of furniture, something similar, or even a piece of sheetrock that you buy from the store, set it against a tree, and you will become very proficient with how this is used in just a half an hour. So can I get a fine finish on this very flat surface? I mean, hey, we're looking for a fine finish, right? I think we're going to like the results. So one of the things you'll want to do is to keep this area clean. And so whether you're spraying indoors or outdoors, you want to have a brush, maybe a toothbrush. I wouldn't use a wire brush. You scratch this metal, you're going to affect the brand new tip you have there. Okay, I use my fingernail, whatever. Get that paint off of there because it's going to interfere with the paint that's coming out of it. If you ever get a clog, you go from the sprayer mode here to turning this around and discharging the paint through the orifice that's 180 degrees around this tip, which is right behind, it's in this housing. I just can't spray it, I only have two hands. I just can't turn it for you. But if you turn this around 180 degrees, you'll have a larger orifice, and then you just discharge the paint, and it puts out any clogs that might be preventing your spray from coming out of the orifice the way it's supposed to be. That's what it's for. You turn it around, and then you discharge for a second, and it spits out the clog. So I turned it around, I went off video, and then I just turned it around. That's the other side of it. You just press the spray trigger, and then it'll spit out anything that's blocking it. Okay. But you wouldn't spray like this. It comes out like a little hose. Now, here's a little pro tip for you. You see this area in here, right? Here's where, look, I'm telling you, pros are just people who made your mistakes. That's all pros are. Really, I mean, a little knowledge, and they're the people who already made your mistakes, okay? So you see those areas right in the center of your screen. You see the darkness there? We got to get that. Now, here's the trick. You got to get that without overdoing here, here, here. How do you do it? Here's how you do it. You reduce the pressure on the sprayer. You understand? You put a little paint there. Then you come back, do it again. Then you come back, do it again. Until it's white. And then you do this. Don't try to get that area all at once. Please listen to what I'm saying. If you try to paint this in 1 or 2 passes, you're gonna look like an amateur. You're gonna be an amateur. You gotta move these. And you can't worry about these yet until this is done. So, the rule is the most minute detail comes first. When it's near something that needs to get coated only twice. So you want to hit this multiple times. And here's the rule, as many times as is necessary in order to not overdo it. Less is more. Okay? Okay, reducing the pressure. The goal is to get a little paint in these areas right here. To get that darkness covered. Not to put a lot of paint there, so we're only gonna go tss, tss, tss. Remember, if you're spitting, you can always sand it with 400. Okay. Meaning if there's a droplet, you don't want to rub it with your finger. Okay. Another little trick of the trade is start off of the thing you're going to paint and end off of it. Even though without an extension, the likelihood of me spitting or my sprayer spitting is slim. However, it can still happen. You'll see with an extension, a 10-inch extension, 30-inch, whatever, you'll see that paint still comes out of the sprayer when you stop pressing the trigger. It happens with extensions. Now, we have no extension here, but I can't afford the time it's going to take to sand out any spit marks, so I'm going to start off of the project and end off of the project. So I might just go like this. What I mean by that is, I'm not going to go like this and stop there. I'm making that noise with my mouth. So I might just keep going continuously. But if I were to stop, let's say I want to do this upper one right here. I go, no good. I go like this. Then I stop here. Okay, let's do that. We certainly start off the project. See what I mean? Now watch where I end. See that? I ended over here. How many coats, Spencer? I ask you. How many coats, Joe? How many coats, Bill? The answer is however many coats it takes to make it perfect. That's the answer. Don't limit yourself to the quality of your competitor. Be unique. Don't stop until you get it to the best you can get it to. Coat number 3. I'm pointing downward on an angle that's going to get that whole louver. Okay? That's how many coats you do. And after you think you have it done, look over your work. You know you don't want to see imperfections, so you want to overlook things. Have somebody else take a look at it if you do it yourself, if you're a do-it-yourselfer. Or, if you're the pro, you know what you got to do. You got to give it that critical eye, because your customer's going to be doing that too. So that concludes this video. You can paint doors, trim, walls with the same sprayer you saw used in this video. That is the Graco. Now, you would use different tips. Consult your manufacturer for which tip is best for your project. Now, I'm using a green tip, a fine finish tip, because it lays out, it pushes the paint out of the sprayer in a certain way to give it a very fine finish. If you're using a different tip, you're going to get a different layout. You want a wider fan. You want at least a 5/17 if you're going to be doing walls. That'll give you a 10-inch fan. But for this project, a 2 or a 300 series is fine. That'll give me either a 4-inch fan or a 6-inch fan. You just double the number of the first number on your tip. But here's the thing. Call Graco Technical Help. If you need any advice, they pick up the phone right away. If they don't, they get back to you right away. I don't work for Graco. They didn't give me this tool for free. I just got it to enhance my content on my channel. Now, if you like it and I've helped you, make a comment. That helps me. I take the time out of my busy projects to help you. So please give me a comment, give me a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. That helps me in the long run. Okay? That's your finish. And you saw what sprayer I used to get it. Thanks for watching.